Well, I'm Morgan, and I'm in 8th grade, and this is my experiment. And what I'm trying to find in this experiment is, are cosmetics damaging to the overall health of plants? And I decided to do this experiment because I read this article, and in it talked about how teenage girls are really exposed to the chemicals in makeup. So I wanted to test the makeup on plants because you can't test them on humans because that's like illegal. And so the plants, underside of the plants have pores called stomata. And so I applied the makeup to the stomata of the plants for 6 weeks, and these are the results. And I hypothesized that if over the course of about 6 weeks the makeup was applied to the underside of the plants, covering the pores, that the overall health of the plants would decrease. The plants covered with the organic makeup and olive oil will not suffer because they carry no toxins. So I had 2 controls, and my controls in this experiment were a plant with nothing. I didn't put anything on it. And then the plant over here, I put olive oil on it because the olive oil would cover the pores just as a control. So these are the plants. And the first one I did was nothing. I didn't put anything on it. And then the next 2 were olive oil and Physicians Formula. And olive oil is just olive oil. It didn't have any toxins in it. And the Physicians Formula is an organic foundation, so that didn't have any toxins in it. And these both did similarly because both of the substances covered the pores of the plants. So it's not that there were toxins in it, that's why they're a little wilted, but it's just because the pores were covered. And then the other one was Ecobella, and that was a natural one, and surprisingly that did really bad because all the ingredients in it were natural except for the parabens, and parabens are probably the worst chemical that is found in makeup, and it just totally destroyed it. And then the next 2 groups were hypoallergenic, and for that I did Neutrogena and Almay, and they both did pretty bad. But then I did 3 name brand cosmetics, which were CoverGirl, Maybelline, and Revlon, and they all did pretty bad. I did was Wet n Wild, and I'll use a generic one. Ingredients you want to look to avoid when you're getting makeup is definitely the parabens. The parabens are the worst. And every single one of these cosmetics had the parabens in it. Another one is the phthalates and the musks, but they're found in fragrance. They're not, like, if you look at the backs of the labels, it's not going to say phthalates or musk. It's going to say fragrance. So they're usually hidden under the name fragrance. One was the propylene glycol, which is also pretty bad for you. There's sodium lauryl sulfite. That's usually not found in makeup. It's usually found in face cleansers or shampoo. The synthetic dyes is a big thing. There's, for example, Yellow Lake 5, Red 36. There's like a whole bunch of them. There's also the triclosan and the trichlocarbon, which some of these makeups had. All the ingredients that end in cone are also really bad for your skin, like the dimethicone, the slicomethicone. Before I started this experiment, I used CoverGirl for myself, so I'm not going to be using that anytime soon on my skin. So, yeah, I mean, that totally affected my views on makeup. Like, I used to think it wasn't that bad. I mean, my friends all use some of these makeups, so, yeah, it totally affected them. They were shocked to see the results. So, I mean, I don't think they'll be using it anytime soon either.
Now, what were those chemicals in that article? What did they say those chemicals, what was bad about the chemicals? They caused what?
They caused cancer, liver problems, they disrupted your hormones, like, they totally affected the growth of teenagers and stuff. There's actually a study that said that the mothers who wore makeup it affected the boys. If they had a baby boy, it would affect them because the makeup has estrogen in it, so the estrogen would go like through their skin. And girls who wear makeup, like you hear, like they're starting to develop at like 9 or 10, which is really crazy because you're supposed to be like middle school is usually when. And actually, you start to see a decrease in the health by the first week, which is kind of crazy. Yeah.
So I guess the good news is that none of the plants are completely dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, if
So that gives some hope to people who are using traditional brands.
If the makeups can destroy these plants in 6 weeks, what do you think it's doing to your skin over a lifetime? I mean, that's pretty crazy. If they almost practically killed all these plants in 6 weeks, it's not the best thing to be putting on your skin. Companies, makeup companies, they could basically put any claim they want on the bottle. They use fancy advertising and pretty bottles and stuff, but I mean, you just gotta look at the ingredient label because usually that's what tells all. Like the Ecobella, it said it was natural, but look what it did to the plant. It had the parabens in it. And that's definitely not a natural ingredient. In the future, I hope the Food and Drug Administration comes up with better laws regulating cosmetic ingredients similar to the laws that regulate our food, because when you think about it, if you wouldn't eat it, you probably shouldn't be putting it on your skin. Perhaps, instead of testing cosmetics on animals or not testing them at all, they can consider testing cosmetics on plants.
All right, thank you.
Oh,
great work.
Well, if you just wanted to learn more information about any of this stuff, you could go to www.ewg.org, and that's the website for the Environmental Working Group, who is a nonprofit group who actually was the ones who put out the article that I read. Or you could go to www.cosmeticdatabase.com, which is actually a really cool website because you could enter in your makeup, the brand of your makeup and the type, and it'll tell you all the ingredients in the makeup, and it'll tell you like the health rating it gives it.